Warning: the following video contains explicit language, which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Are you ready? Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Let's see everybody. Glad you're here. Well, nice day today here in Maine. It's cloudy, but not, it's partly cloudy, I guess I should say. Not cloudy, but it's nice out. It's warm and birds are out there tweeting. I noticed there's some bird songs that I haven't heard around here before, and I'm not sure what that means. If there's birds migrating more north here or coming from somewhere else, I don't know. But in the morning, I hear different bird songs that I've never heard before. I'm not sure what they are, what kind of birds they are, because I'm not like a bird person. But the only thing I know is I hate crows. But there's it's an interesting thing to hear now, and I think even my cat notices those tweets are not the same, because whenever I hear that different tweet, she jumps up on the window and looks, where's that coming from? So not really sure what they are, but there's a big, huge graveyard on Mount Hope Avenue. It's kind of sits between Vesey and Bangor, and they got some big birds over there. They kind of look like almost like what do they call them? Flamingos there. They almost look like they're shaped like flamingos, but they're not flamingos. At least I don't think they are. I don't know where the hell they're coming from. Because you don't see them flying through the air to come over here. So what is it? People bring these things out somewhere, or so seeing some weird birds at the cemetery, because there's a big, huge pond in that cemetery. And it's always full of ducks and other duck-like birds during the summer, which is a nice thing. I like to go down there because a lot of people go there just to walk, because it's a cemetery that's got a lot of history, and has a lot of interesting, how can I say it, like structures and things like that. And from what I understand, it was used in a Stephen King movie. I don't know which one, don't ask me. I'm not a big Stephen King fan, but it's been seen in one of his movies or made-for-TV movies. I don't know. I'd have to research that to find out. But it's like a park, a pseudo park, with some very old grave sites, going all the way back to like the Civil War and even further. There's a lot of history there, a lot of history in that area. But it's very pretty, and they take good care of it. And unfortunately, with the goddamn winds we've been getting, a lot of great old trees that were there have been broke, and they had to chop them down. So the damage from the winds is really kind of ripping the beauty of the cemetery up, and that's sad. I hope they can do something about that and fix it up or whatever. But lots of people like jogging through there, because there's a lot of like hills and stuff inside there, so you get a good workout. Muscles and stuff. Sometimes I just walk through there. I can't jog that. Jesus Christ. I can't. Even when I was younger, I would find it difficult to run, uphill and downhill and and all. That's a hell of a workout. But I do like walking through there. I think I've made like a video, I think, on here somewhere. I did on here going through that area. I could do it again, I guess, if later if I feel like doing it. But it's really it's a nice cemetery. They really take care of it. So today I'm going to do something different here on the show. I'm not going to just talk about items on the news for this. What I want to do is I want to do sort of a question and answer segment here, because I get a lot of people complaining that they try to comment on YouTube to some of my videos and it ain't showing up. At least I'm not seeing it. Okay, some people say it's there, but I can't see it. I don't know why. If there's something on my end that's not working, or why, I get this problem. And I've yet to try to fix it and figure it out. What the hell's going on? I mean, I got my my webpage shouldn't have much, if any, restrictions on there, because I welcome all comments. At least that's how I think I got it set up. But for some goddamn reason, people still can't seem to get their comments on the page, and I don't want people to think that I'm not reading it. Okay, I don't want you not to watch. What it is I'm not seeing it. Okay, so what I've done, over the months and years and stuff, is tell people to comment where I'm at, because I'm a member on a lot of different other social media things, and what I do is when I'm on there, I put links to my videos on YouTube, and they can see it and then comment on the other site, right? You know what I'm saying? So I thought it would be nice if I could put some of their questions up or comments up on here today, because at least that way they know that I'm seeing it. And I will still work on what the hell YouTube has got against me. It could be that, with the material I'm talking about, they don't like, but they're not necessarily going to take me off. I don't know. Who fucking knows? When you got people running things like that, you're always going to run across, narrow-minded individuals, okay? Go figure. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there knows why these things are happening, and they can help me to fix the problem. Hey, if you can, please tell me how to do it. So, I'm going to start with this first one here from Reddit.com, which is a site I'm on a lot, and I got this question from Cornhusk1315, and it's I don't know if it's a good comment. It says, "You're weird. Where do you live? In a dollhouse?" I guess because all the stuff. No, it's not a dollhouse, unfortunately. Because if it was, then I wouldn't have to pay rent. No, this it's a lot of the stuff behind me here that you see, or whenever you're watching. They're a mixture of things that I collected as I was growing up, and things that my girlfriend collected while she was growing up. And I'd say it's a 50-50 thing where we both have a lot of stuff. And my apartment is just full of things that you probably would find fascinating. I got a lot of 80s stuff, a lot of 70s stuff, toys, things like that. I got, well, just off the top of my head, just, Batman stuff. I got a ton of Batman stuff. And I got dolls. There's like the Chipmunks. I got some of the vintage Chipmunk dolls. I used to like the Chipmunks when I was a kid because I had records. I don't know if you're, big record albums with the Chipmunks singing, and I used to like that, Then I got a vintage Alf doll. I got one that, I got two actually. I got one that's just a regular doll, and then I got another one that's like a Teddy Ruxpin Alf that you put a cassette in, and you play it, and the mouth moves and everything. I haven't tested to see if it still works, but I don't have batteries in it. I kept the batteries out, but it might still work. I don't know. But it, I really loved Alf, and so I had that. And I got, of course, Star Trek ships. You could probably see part of one right here. They're the Enterprise E, right there. And on the shelf, there's She-Ra, Princess of Powers castle. that's mine, and then Snake Mountain right there, that's mine. Okay, and under here, this is a McDonald's playset, which I didn't grow up with. I didn't have it, but I always wanted one because I just, I don't know. I mean, I always liked McDonald's. I mean, what kid, you know, in the 70s and 80s didn't like to go to McDonald's, for Christ's sake? You know, so actually these are two McDonald's play sets that I put together to make one. And I got like different McDonald's characters and stuff. Now, sitting on top of the McDonald's restaurant playset is a Mario Brothers Lego set of what do you call that? A pirate ship? A pirate ship, I think, is what it is, or something like that. I think I might have showed you that on a video, but I got it sitting up there. This painting right here, I won that in '74 in a raffle. By just selling raffle tickets, and I sold the most, and so I got this painting from a fellow who was in college doing art, and so I got that. I won that. And of course, all these Care Bears belong to Melissa, and the Cabbage Patch doll is Melissa's. She liked that. She likes Hello Kitty. That's another big thing. You might see Hello Kitty figures here too. So she really likes Hello Kitty. In fact, I made some Hello Kitty clay figures for her that she really loved. But yeah, there's I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. That's why my place looks like a dollhouse, and it's in an apartment. So you know, space is very limited in an apartment. So if you had a bigger home, you could spread things out, and it wouldn't look so cluttered. But because we're in an apartment, you know, that's how it is. You know, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, paying $1,000 a month for it, and you know, it's just you got to be creative. I mean, people have come in here and said, "I can't believe you have so much stuff, and yet it still looks sort of organized, and it's not like underfoot everywhere." No, I use as much space as I can, wall space. I build little shelves to put things on. You know, and of course, you know, I rotate stuff around a little bit, you know, but lately though, I've been trying to keep the clutter down more, you know, and some dolls are probably gone. You noticed there were some that were hanging from the ceiling. I took those down just to kind of alleviate the claustrophobia here a bit, you know. It's an ongoing process, you know, and it's just it's one of those things. So a lot of people going through the same thing with that. Another question here from Jack of All Trades 21, also from Reddit. It's you said your girlfriend is a MAGA follower. How do you live with that? No, I didn't say she was a MAGA follower. What I said was that her parents, her mother and her father, are MAGA. Okay. Unfortunately for Melissa, she's been helping her parents out because they're elderly and their health is not the greatest right now. Okay, so she's been up there a lot, helping them out to just, like, you know, get things for them, groceries, cook meals, you know, clean up in the house a little bit. Her mother just recently retired from her job, so she's kind of you know, sitting around, and you know, her mother's sort of you know, watching her husband a little bit, because you know, he has a bad heart, and he's always had one since the day I first met him. But you know, he you know, they make a lot of trips down here to see doctors and stuff, and so no, she I mean, sometimes I'll catch her saying something I know where she heard it from, her mother. You know, and I gotta correct her. She told me all they watch up there is Fox News, so she's being exposed to the bullshit that goes on in the MAGA world up there, and unfortunately for her, she's not like one that's really into politics like I am, so she doesn't fact check nothing. She doesn't care really most of the time what's being said on Fox. She's on her phone texting this one, texting that one, and she's doing all kinds of things. She's not really paying attention. So when she is paying attention, it's only when her mother's speaking and saying stuff, you know, commenting in the background, you know. And so I wouldn't say Melissa is a MAGA person. I mean, sometimes I send her stuff and she's like, oh, he's a fucking idiot or something, you know, but no, she's not MAGA. She's just around MAGA. And, you know, when you're with your parents, you don't want to fight with them, especially over things like that. And so I imagine she, you know, just, you know, just to shut them up so that way they'll leave her be. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. This one from Mophead _ 2122 reddit.com. Said, I like your ads, but what's with the bumper material? I don't know. I mean, the ads are the ads. Okay, I put them up there, obviously, you know why. The bumper stuff, I don't know, I just, you know, I just put whatever the hell I think looks interesting, and I just put it up there. I don't know. You know, I see something and I think, that might make a good bumper, like, you know, will return or welcome back, you know, something like that. I don't know. I haven't set like a certain kind of thing. I mean, I could just do like the same old thing over and over again, but I don't know, that would kind of get boring, and I don't want people to feel like they're being bored watching it, you know. I try to put something new in there, you know, for the hell of it, just to get people to, you know, like, react. I don't know. Forgive me if it's not, you know, to your liking, but, you know, it's really my thing, and that's, you know, that's what I'm doing with it. So, I mean, I don't know, you could just fast forward through that. It is online, of course, so you don't have to see it. Next one, Swamp Critter 89 from Quora. That's another place I'm at, Quora.com. Your cat is cute, but I think she wants more attention. Yeah, I guess that's probably what it is too. I mean, she does it whenever I'm doing a video or something like that, like right now. She'll be kind of walking around my legs and digging on the back of the chair and jumping up and getting on, you know, you've seen it. You know, she gets kind of, I don't know, it's like maybe it makes her nervous that I'm talking and it's not to her, or it's just to nobody, because she thinks I'm just talking. You know, I don't know. She's, you know, she's what, going to be 3 years old here in a month or so. And she's really finicky about things. The other day I tried to bring her outside to put her into a pet playpen. She wouldn't have it. No, it was a big playpen. It's not small. I tried to bring her out there and put her inside of that thing. She just would not go into the damn thing. She cried and cried, you know, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's a nice day. You know, you'd think she'd want to be outside because she's always sitting in the window looking out, but nope. So I don't know what to do. I mean, I spent $30-something on that fucking playpen, and she doesn't want to get into it, you know. What am I gonna do? You know, I try to, you know, I buy her toys, I do all kinds of shit, and it's just, you know, what, you know. Here's another from Quora.com, Superbat Padawan. Interesting. Don't you get tired of bitching about the same topics all the time? Yeah, I do. Sometimes a news item might be different on the surface, but it always kind of goes right back to the same thing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's still the same complaint. It might be a different development, but the argument always kind of circles back to the beginning. And you know, it is repetitive. You know, I'm sorry about that. I mean, I feel like if I don't say something about, you know, something that I think is important to hear, you know, then I'm missing something, and you know, maybe, you know, not really talking about something that some people would want to hear, you know. I mean, I try to find articles that are kind of like you wouldn't hear on the regular news, you know, stuff that would just fly under the radar, as it were. But a lot of things these days is just all about the election right now, and that's understandable because we're just, what, 5 months outside of this thing, and, you know, right now, even the small small media types are out there talking about this, and really it's getting to the point where you find yourself talking about variations on a theme, you know. And I know I got a friend that watches this, and she's like, you know, I'm getting tired of politics, and you know, I totally understand. You know, it is tiresome, which is how I can't see how people can be political commentators every day. I mean, they must be taking something just to come to work, just to talk. I mean, I guess it takes a certain personality trait to be able to do that over and over and over again. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's difficult, but yes, it does get tiresome. But you know, you don't have to watch every video I put out there. I mean, if you see that the topic that I'm going to be talking about and you're sick and tired of hearing about it, then just don't watch it. You know, I ain't going to tell you to watch it. Just, you know, don't feel like you're obligated to watch every single video. Okay, skip it. You know, wait for the next one. You know, or just in some way send me a message saying, you know, can you talk about this or talk, you know, do that. You know, I'm certainly open to ideas. You know, I'm not rigid with my show. I mean, I'm rigid on how I make it, but I'm not rigid about the topics I want to talk about. And my friend has sent me things I'm assuming she'd like for me to talk about on here. You know, she does send me articles. I got a couple from her recently, so I'm guessing, you know, do that. If anything else, if you see something, copy the link and throw it at me, and I'll look at it. You know, and just make that part of the next video I do or something. So there, you know, you can always do that. Okay, I'm going to go to a commercial break here right now while I'm at this point, and we'll be right back.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me!
This is me.
I'm Alex Curtis. I'm a lobsterman in Maine, and this is me.
I'm Ruth McLaughlin, and this is me.
I'm Eric Hopkins. I'm an artist, and this is me.
This is me.
Me.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
At the end of the journey, the main thing is you, original.
As Republicans continually have their head up their ass and can't figure out how to actually use the power that the people gave us.
Ready, fight!
My friends in the Freedom Caucus, Matt Gaetz and others, they're proving to the country that they don't care about doing the right thing for America.
People are sick and tired of a feckless, useless Republican Party that never does a damn thing to stop any of this. I can tell you right now, people are going to stop supporting Republicans if Republicans don't get their act together and actually do something about this.
The feud was between Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. It was caught on camera. You can see them chatting there, and it led to a lot of questions. There was reporting that the word, and pardon my language here, or the phrase, little bitch, was thrown around.
Well, one day we are going to row ourselves right off of that cliff.
See you later.
Be a part of the entertainment value of a lifetime.
I loved it.
It was the best performance I've seen in a lifetime.
I loved the show. I liked it very much. He's a very entertaining man. It's well worth the money.
Now appearing in Charlottetown, coming to Halifax November 6th to the 18th, and St. John November 20th through the 26th.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so questions, comments, and answers here. So let me go to this next one here from reddit.com. This is from Act of Class 98. I like how you convey kindness after each show when you spend so much time bashing people for believing what they believe. So it's a backhanded compliment. Yeah, it does sound like, you know, I'm doing the opposite of what I'm asking everybody to do, which is don't discuss politics because it always leads to a fight, and you know, religion's another no-no that I avoid in public. Okay, I won't talk of these things even when Melissa's family comes down for like holidays, like Father's Day. We just had Father's Day. They came down for Father's Day. We ate out. Her mother was wearing her stupid MAGA hat, okay, while I was sitting there eating, but I didn't bring up politics, and neither did they, because I think we both understand each other. I'm not going to talk about it because it leads to a fight. They're not going to talk about it because it's going to piss me off, and we're not going to talk about it. And so we have this understanding, okay? I'm just going to let them be what they are, and they'll leave me alone. To me, that's better than coming to the table, and I've seen this happen in her family, but with other family members, okay? I'm just kind of sitting back listening, but they're fighting tooth and nail because they got a mixture of both Democrats and Republicans in that family. And during a Thanksgiving meal, I mean, Melissa's cousin was up here, and they just went right at it. I mean, they was like fucking damn near a food fight. I mean, unbelievable, the depth of the fucking argument. And I was like, you know, I learned then, this is not the topic to bring up around them at any time because they are really incensed on this, okay? So I just know better. You know, I live by that. I live by that. But I feel like, you know, I can come on here and talk about these things, and even though I'm exposing how deep I am into the political conversation and stuff like that, I find it easier to convey my thoughts this way than to try and deal with other people personally, because what happens is, you know, it builds. I mean, I don't know how you all feel, but it feels like the conversation builds on top of emotion. The reactions. You know, you talk about something and immediately they want to jump in and cut you off, you know, and it's like, you know, the irritation builds. You can't really discuss something in a diplomatic fashion when you're being motivated by emotion, you know, anger and brevity and stuff like, you know, all these things come into play. And at the end of it all, I mean, it ends up with hurt feelings. You might say something you later wish you never said. I'm not going to do that, okay? But I can come on here and sort of vent, you know, my thoughts on here to people, and it's in a controlled environment. So that way I can't be interrupted. I can take the time to make my arguments as clear as possible, okay? And yes, some emotions coming out even as I'm talking, when I talk about the MAGA movement and how, you know, crazy they are and how cultish they are and what they do. Okay, yes, but I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to just say I don't want to hear the other side. I do want to hear the other side, and I want to hear their reasons, but I don't want it to be in the context of a meal, okay, at a restaurant in the open, and the conversation devolves into a fight, an argument that the whole friggin' place is going to hear. And what do you know what happens when that shit happens, okay? You know, so I ain't gonna do that, okay? But at the end of the day, I try to, you know, say, at the end of the video rather, I try to say, look, be nice. I mean, don't take your arguments outside and around people. Try to be nice out in people, around people out there, because, you know, I don't think a lot of people want to bring tension, you know, while they're shopping or something like that. You know, people don't want to hear arguments like that, because a lot of people, when it comes to religion and politics, they feel they got to add something in there. You know, they got to jump into someone's, you know, don't open that door, okay? Because you're going to have a bad day. You're going to take a good day and turn it bad because some bad thing happened, and that's going to stick in your mind, you know, and, you know, your whole day's shot. So if you don't like the idea that I come on here and I say things that I say, because the title of the show is Ordinary Talk, so I'm not trying to censor myself, you know, in any way. It's just my thoughts, my opinions, okay? They're my opinions, and I'm putting them up here. And if it makes you uncomfortable, you don't have to watch. I'm not going to encourage you to watch. If it makes you uncomfortable, please go find some other place to listen to politics from people that lean your way. You know, I'm a Democrat, and so my views are going to be left-leaning. Okay, I'm gonna, you know, say that. At the same time, I try, you know, when I can, to be open-minded about the other side. But lately, the other side's arguments are so ludicrous. I feel like they're not really worth mentioning because it's crazy talk, you know. But if anything intelligent ever comes out of the right wing, I'm certainly going to be one to hold that up and say, oh, so they're talking about this now, you know, and be glad for it, because I really would like to talk about other things other than just Trump this, Trump that, Trump, you know, and every time he's in trial, you know. So that's, you know, kind of what I think there on that. I hope I answered the question. Okay, hold on a second here. The papers. Okay. Next thing. This is from Quora.com. Sunev for fun. Sunev. You get things mixed up and wrong sometimes on your program. You need to research things better. Okay, yeah, I do. You know, sometimes I'll do a video, and I can't remember which one it was now. I mean, because I do so many, it's a blur. I know that there's been times when I've done a video when I've said something and then later found out, oh, you were wrong when you said that, you know, but it's only come out later in another article that I saw, okay? And I should go back and when my next video put a correction in there, but I don't, because I get so locked into a time frame. You know, I try to keep these videos under an hour, you know, and so I kind of get myself all wrapped up in a conversation, you know, with the camera here. And I forget to say, oh, by the way, this, that, you know, I was wrong with that, you know. So yes, sometimes I don't do enough research on something. So if I feel like I'm not being 100% factual, if I'm missing something, I'll probably say in the video, don't take my word for it, you know, look it up. And I think, you know, I want people not to just take everything I say as factual, okay? Don't. Doubt the shit out of me, whatever I'm telling you, okay? And look these things up yourself, okay? Because I'm not going to mislead people on purpose. I'm not trying to do that, okay? I'm not like these other folks on YouTube that do these commentators or something like that. I'm not going to do that. Enough people are misleading each other all the time on the internet, and I'm sick of that, okay? Even I get wrapped up in some of the shit, you know, that other people put out there, and find out that, you know, hey, they weren't even right. They weren't even right to begin with, you know. So when I do these things, I try to be as open and honest and try to convey that. Like, you know, just don't take what I'm saying as gospel, okay? I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. And if I am, and you find out, good, because you learn something, all right? You learn something. So I'm glad if people are finding out that some of the stuff I'm saying, it turns out to be false, okay? And, you know, that motivates me to redouble my efforts when I do the videos to make sure I show some kind of evidence or proof or something like that, which is why I read right off of an article or something to tell you where I'm getting this stuff from, you know. So I think that's, you know, that was a good observation there from Sunev for fun. This is from reddit.com from Billum72. Who do you think will win the election this year and why? Everybody asks me that. That's such a, you know, anytime somebody finds out that you're into politics, that's the first thing they hit you with is, who do you think's going to win? You know, so, I mean, I've answered this all the time. I think Biden's going to win, okay? And you want to know why I think that way. Okay, I think that way because I still have hope that sanity will win the day in the election. That, you know, the way things are at this point now, 5 months outside the election, at this point, I still say Biden has the better chance. Now, the polling that some people are getting their information saying, oh, Biden's in trouble, forget it. Polls haven't been right in this country for a decade at least, and I can't, and there's a lot of reasons why polling data is so inaccurate. One thing is they're still using, a lot of these places are still using old methods to do their polling, which really is outdated. Okay, they should be hitting people online instead of doing the way they've been doing it all this time. Okay, gathering up handfuls of people, even just 1,000 to 2,000-3,000 people, and polling them is not an accurate picture of America with the 360 million Americans that live in this country. You're looking at a big, you know, a scale that's huge on one side, tiny on the other. Okay, how can you really make heads or tails out of that, out of just polling a few? You know, and in this country, you know, it's weird, but people live, you know, like Republicans kind of live all in the same area, sort of, and Democrats live all in the same area. Now, if you take polling companies and they take a slice out of one or the other or something like that, of course it's going to lean one way or the other. It's not going to give you a accurate picture. And I think a lot of times, a lot of these polling companies already have an agenda set that we need to find data that shows that Trump is neck and neck with Biden, okay? Now, anyone with common sense would say, how can that be? Because Trump is constantly on the news for having committed some sort of a crime. He's being charged left and right, okay? And a lot of his own people, you know, his own lawyers are being charged with crimes. You know, how can we think that this guy is innocent, and yet we got a guy who's president already and has really done a good job after taking over the reins from Trump. Okay, he's really done a good job of setting this country back on the right track. Okay, and you're telling me that, oh, he's neck with a criminal? No. Common sense says that's impossible. Okay, there's no way. And that's what I mean when I say that. Sorry, that's what I mean when I say that I think that Biden will win. Okay, because I think that despite how much the media floods the airwaves with this notion that Trump is the horse in the race here that everybody should pay attention to, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that. I think they want us to think that this is a neck-and-neck horse race because it draws more people to watch the news. Therefore, it creates revenue when they put ads up. You know, it's like anything event, like any sporting event, like a football, the Super Bowl. Look at all the commercials they throw in there. I mean, the things are saturated with sponsors and all kinds of shit. The election is no different. It's another form of a game. It's another form of a sport. And when you have an election year like this, for the presidency, it's a big moment for the media to make all kinds of fucking money. And how are they going to do that if people are saying, oh, it's a sure thing, he's going to win? No, they can't let that be like that because that's not going to get enough attention. They have to make it look like it's a race, to the finish with it both at, neck and neck, okay? That's how they have to make it look. I really think that's what it is. And I think that's the reason why for the last decade or so, the polls have been off bad for a lot of things, the outcomes. Everybody's like, oh, this is not what the polls showed. Of course it ain't, because you guys are putting your thumbs on the scales. You want people to be riveted to this thing as if they ain't already. I mean, it's just, I feel like, it's so obvious why the polls are coming out with the information they are, and I really, really, really would recommend people just simply ignore that. It's not an accurate pulse of America right now, okay? You're not going to get it. The best way is for yourself. Use common sense. Do you think Trump is making more sense than Biden? Do you think Biden is making more sense than Trump? Okay, and if you have common sense, then you know the answer to that question. And like I said, about a third of this country is in for Trump. Is that going to be enough to guarantee him a second win as a president? I don't know. The Republican Party these days is in chaos. I mean, you got veteran Republicans that have resigned from there, and you got one there that's like got one foot on a banana peel and the other one in a grave, and he's just saying things and stuff, but he's really not in the game anymore. And I'm talking about Mitch McConnell there, Moscow Mitch. Okay, I'm talking about him. I mean, he's yesterday. He's a has-been. Okay, and he's only there because they need him there as a face. But it's really Trump, and he's not the one that's giving the speeches. Okay, in front of the cameras about politics. But the Republican Party's in shambles, and I mean, there's even people. They're not getting as much money in their coffers as they did the last time around when Trump was running. So there's a lot of other evidence to show that it's not easy right now to be a MAGA. Okay. So anyway, next one here. This is from Reddit.com, Janice T19. What have you got against Texas? I guess I have been saying a lot of shit about that. What have I got against Texas? Texas, okay, I got a lot of personal things about Texas that I don't like about that state. Okay, I went to school there as a kid growing up. Wasn't the best schooling system I ever saw. Okay, I didn't like it. And I can say that now looking back because I had an experience in many states on education: Florida, Texas, and Maine. Okay, Florida was fine at the time. Okay, I didn't have a problem with Florida. Florida's education system seemed okay, and I was like, oh Christ, I was born in '71, so let's see. In Florida, it would have been like 76, I think, 77. So, you know, I was really young, but I had good teachers, and they seemed pretty nice, and you know, there was no trouble. It was a good school. I mean, I had a lot of friends there. And then we moved to Texas after that. I think I started in 3rd grade there, or 4th grade, and the school there was different. The whole thing was a really, it felt like a concentration camp, if you ask me. Very nerve-wracking, and their discipline of the students was beyond reason. Okay, I don't know how you guys out there feel about having a stranger paddle your kid when you're not around to witness it, to make sure that that kid's not being hit over the head with a goddamn board. You know, I would never allow another person that I don't know personally to raise a hand against my kid. That to me is, I mean, if you're gonna prosecute a neighbor across the road for beating or striking your kid, okay, then why can't we do that in that situation? What's the difference? It's the same fucking crime as far as I'm concerned. They got no right to lay a hand on my child. I'll do the discipline. Okay, leave that to me. That's supposed to be the parent's job, to discipline and educate their kid on right and wrong, not the school. The school is there to teach kids math, reading, English. That's their job. That's their only responsibility. If the kid's acting out, you call the parents, you have them come in. And even if the parents don't respond, if they don't expel the kid, then the parents will show up. But no, Texas to me, and I also got my first taste of racism in that state too. And I think I said this in a previous video about how one side of the town, all the Mexican Americans would live. The other side of town was everybody else, okay? And it was separated by a fucking interstate overpass, okay? It was bizarre. You know, even as young as I was, I saw there was something weird about that. You know, I never liked that about Texas, because I had, you know, friends that lived on that side of the town, you know, and I'd ride my bike over there and stuff, and I got looks a lot of time from the people that are like, you know, why is this white kid over here or something? You know, what's he do? You know, I felt like, you know, I wasn't welcome over there, even though I had friends. And I don't know. It's just Texas, and then of course now with everything going on in Texas with this crazy governor they got down there who's banned abortion and has the goddamn undeclared bounty on people if you can find somebody who's trying to have an abortion, to you know, squeal on them, so the police will go. You know, what the hell has Texas become? You know, what is it? I mean, is it going to be a Nazi compound now in a way? Because if that's the case, and I don't think we need to ask Texas to secede from the country. I think America should just decide to kick it out of the system altogether. You know, if you want to be your own little nation, fine, but we're not gonna back that. We're not gonna fund you whenever a crisis happens in your state. Okay, when you have a tornado or you got bad weather or something, I don't want my fucking tax money to go to support a state that stands with that kind of mentality. I mean, would you send money to Nazi Germany whenever they had hard times? Okay, same thing with Texas. I mean, that's the way I look at Texas, and I'm not attacking the people in Texas who are against what's happening in Texas, but what I am saying is that the rest of the country shouldn't have to suffer the fate of taking care of that state if it's not living by the traditions and the principles of what the United States of America is about. If they can't live under that guideline, then they don't deserve to be a state anymore. They really don't. And there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, Texas, you're out of the game. I mean, you're no longer a member of the union. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens all the time, you know. I mean, where countries change, you know, whatever you want to say, they change. States can change. States are like little countries in our big nation here, okay? And if the states don't want to, you know, if they vote and they say, no, we want to be like this, fine. If you want to be anti-American, then fine. We'll kick your state out and you won't have to rely on us for a goddamn thing anymore, okay? You can run your state the way you want to run it. You know, and if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. But I'm just saying that when you think about, you know, all the various red states out there that are turning really red, okay, I don't feel like, you know, if they're really in the process of burning the American flag and replacing it with something else, why should our tax dollars go to support that state, okay? The doctors that are in those states, I mean, they feel like they can't do their fucking job. They're violating their oath to protect life as a doctor because of a political philosophy that's been imposed on them now in that state of Texas and other red states, okay? That shouldn't be happening. Those doctors should all pack up their shit, get the hell out of there and say, we're leaving. And leave those states in the lurch. Because when they've got no doctors to treat them, what are they going to do? You know? So I feel like, you know, there's a lot about that issue about Texas that I could go on and on and on about. And I feel like, you know, I have a good reason not to like that state. I'm not saying I hate everybody that lives in it. I mean, but there are people that live in that state who have allowed this mindset to really change what Texas is. Okay? It's not such a place you'd want to live anymore now. It's really not that big. That's, you know what I'm saying? It's just not what it used to be. It's really changed a lot, and not in a good way. And I wish that those people in there could do something to remove Governor Abbott there and put in somebody else, you know, somebody, Democrat, to at least stop this momentum that's happening there, because the state is just deteriorating, you know, all the time now. And Abbott is not doing a damn thing to stop that. You know, they're destroying the state. He is. Okay, well, I got more, but I ain't got time here, so I'm just going to end it here. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the work week. And subscribe, comment, and comment, or try to anyway. And you know, share. And keep your ears open for any news about health-related issues. And be nice to each other out there. Don't bring up the two big topics that are a no-no to discuss in public, unless you want to come home with a broken nose, or, you know, get killed, or whatever the hell else that these people will do. But just try to enjoy each other's time and be cordial, and you know, go somewhere where you can watch the kids play, because, you know, kids can always make, you know, the environment around you happier, you know, when you see them playing and stuff like that. And, you know, it's good. And, you know, if there's any place where there's birds, go out and listen to the birds, you know, and have a good time, good summer here. So take care, everybody. I'll talk to you later.